What's everyone? This will be my last video and kind of final review and thoughts on the MU 3D metal model kit of Starscream. So I did a intro unboxing review video, and I've done 2 work in progress videos just kind of showing you some of the processes going through this thing. And to be honest, it's a cool thing. So right now I've got them in, you have a few switch outs. Right now I have them in the crowned version of Starscream. So he's got a crown and 2 little shoulder things that you can actually take off. Get some gloves on here because I've been really good about keeping fingerprints off this thing. I did all the building with gloves on because with all the shiny parts, it gets full of fingerprints, and then you lose all the kind of bling effect if he's full of fingerprints. So I've done pretty good about keeping fingerprints off of him. Do a quick spin around of this thing. really cool. I'll show you how he can kind of come apart and switch outs. He's got a couple switch outs. He's got one different face switch out, and then he's got a right fist switch out, and you see he's got Megatron here in his left hand, and Megatron can come off, so he just has a closed fist if you want. Overall, he's really sturdy, not real shaky. I have a few little areas where it's just on my fault. Like this little can right here is kind of loose. I got the other one much better. It's not real loose, and Megatron was probably is like the most janky part, just because a lot of round pieces and stuff. As far as difficulty, you know, again, he's not hard. It's just time consuming. I think I'd probably put in 25 hours maybe on this thing, if I had to guess. So yeah, I mean, you know, he has, I think, 406 parts. I went over this in the unboxing, but let's see how many pieces he has. I'm not sure it tells me in here or not. It does on the box. Hold on. 1 second. He has 408 pieces, so a lot of pieces, and that's not even the most. I think the Optimus Prime one that I have over here has like 600 pieces. Megatron has 634, and Optimus Prime has 569. So this took about 25 hours with that many pieces. The others will take much longer, I anticipate. But a really cool piece. As far as size goes, he's right at 9 inches tall, 9.5 inches tall with the wings on. So like I said, you can take the crown off. The crown was a little fiddly to build, but it turned out in the end, because anything round is hard. This piece in the back was the hardest because you have to line up all these pieces to get it to fit on, but in the end it looks pretty good. And then the shoulder comes off, and these are just, there's magnets in the arms that hold those on, and you really actually don't even need the magnets, and there's a magnet in the crown to hold it on the head. Really don't even need it. And then if you wanted to, you can take Megatron out, and he's in 2 pieces. There's a magnet in the hand, and again, you really don't need it, but it's just got these little slide where it kind of locks in on both pieces. So it's kind of a clever way they did it. And then his fist just sits there. And then if you wanted to, you can take this fist out, or the pointing hand, and put the closed fist. And then we have 2 different faces. This one, he's kind of, let me see if I can zoom in, you can see it. This one, he's kind of got a frowny face. And actually I haven't tried to put the other one in, so I may have to do some adjustments on it. And to get him out, you kind of need there's a magnet in the head. You kind of need to get a knife in there or something. And this one, he's kind of smirking. This is probably one I'll just leave in there because it's kind of says Starscream to me. He's kind of a smart ass, so I kind of like that one. He's kind of smirking. That to me says Starscream. And then if you wanted to, I don't know why you'd want to, you can take the wings off in the back. 2 magnets in the body hold those on. And then these can come off too. These slide off if you wanted to. So you can have them look like that. But to me, that doesn't look like Starscream. Now, he looks like he's leaning forward a little bit here. I may mess with this. This, you know, it's metal, so you can kind of bend it. I think I may try to force these legs in a little bit. But I'm going to put these back on because I like the way they look. And again, these just kind of, there's some little slots in these little things slide in and they lock in place. And then same thing with this. See if I get it in. Yep. And then he wants to lean forward a little bit without the wings on, but once you put the wings on, he balances out nicely. There we go. And I do like him with Megatron, so we're going to put Megatron back in his hand. What I always found funny in the cartoon, because I love Transformers and grew up with them, is that Starscream was always trying to take over, leading the Decepticons up from Megatron. And Megatron wasn't a big fan of his. But when he transformed into a gun, he became Starscream's weapon. It's like, oh, doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Let's see. So yeah, overall, really, really cool piece. Again, it's a little fiddly here in some areas. The detail's insane. Again, I'll just probably, if I display them, I'll probably just leave this stuff on here. That way, I don't have to worry about storing it anywhere because it's kind of cool looking anyway. This one just kind of goes over this gun over here and it tilts up. It's weird because if this one goes on like this, and you would think that this one would go on like that, but they have it going on like this, which I think looks good. So you get the two hand switch outs. A few critiques. Again, it's little fiddly in areas. These little finger condoms are way too tight. I had them on and my fingers actually started to turn blue, so I didn't use them. I thought they were way too tight. It's a good concept, but tons of detail. Just really cool. There's in the very back of the head, that you can see it, there's the MU logo. Let's see if I can get some light on it. So right here's the MU logo. The paint is really, really nice. Again, when you're putting this together, you have to be careful not to scratch it when you're kind of tabbing things together, because it's relatively easy to mar. Once it's all together, like I've got a few areas where I scratched it up, but you can't tell once it's all together because there's so much detail. But cool piece. I'll put links down below where you can get these guys. The link below is the only place I found them. I think I did seem like a Big Bad Toys or Big Boy Toys or whatever, but just really kind of a fun, non-stressful thing to put together. Nice break between all the painting I've been doing, so just something I can build, put on my shelf, and just have a really cool display piece. So I'll build Megatron and Optimus eventually, but I kind of like Starscream the best out of the three that I got, so I figured I'd do him first. But I'd say overall, it's like a 9 out of 10 as far as quality goes. Ease of assembly is probably like if you've never done something like this, you may find it difficult because there's a lot of folding, a lot of little fiddly areas. Maybe like a 5 or 6 out of 10 as far as ease. The details are off the chart. The quality is really good, and I think it makes a nice display piece. And as far as the value, I think the prices aren't too bad, even though they're about $50 a piece. So yeah, it seems expensive, but when you look at the other like models like this, I think you're getting a lot of bang for your buck. So I'm gonna come in, pick them up, and show you some of the details on this. Just really, really cool. I love all the details in the legs, the joints, all the little vents. These even bend to make them look like they're actual turbines. The detail on Megatron's really good. He was just a pain in the ass to put together, as you saw in the previous video. I love the white paint. The white paint's really, really nice, done really, really well. I love the afterburner look here. The electroplating on the colored parts is excellent. We take that off, you can see the details under here. One of the most fiddly parts to put together were these like kind of crotch areas. That was kind of a little fiddly. The back side of this is detailed very nicely, even though you don't see it. I mean, this looks like he could transform. the way he's detailed and everything. And then tons of detail here on the side. Like all in here. All these little pieces are individual. really, really cool piece. And it's got this silly crown, which I kind of dig. And I like that smirk that says Starscream to me. But there you go. So that's the MU metal 3D model of Starscream. I've got 2 more to do, and I'll do those eventually. Not anytime soon, because I got to keep painting. But as always, thanks for watching. It's Matt Mrozek. Catch you guys next time. Bye.